Welcome to another episode of the Metal Roundup. It's been a couple of weeks here since we last got together to talk about what's been going on in the metal music scene. There's been a few really interesting, notable releases, which we'll talk about in this episode, including Vianova's album. We've got Amy Lee, Poppy, and Courtney LaPlante doing that joined collaboration together. Bad Omens released their second song of the year. BLACKSHAPE is an interesting artist I know Burb and Drew are very high on. And President released another song. So we'll talk about all of those and more in this episode. But first, Burb, you're drinking not coffee right now. Look at this. The man's got a beer.
We're having some technical difficulties too, so cheers.
Yes.
So hopefully a successful stream right now or podcast. But yes, I am thirsty. I can't be the only one. The fact that you guys were talking about having beer before this, and let me read Steve's message here in our little conversation. I'm a whiskey and Coke and a glass of red wine deep, so my speech will be a little delayed when I talk.
Yeah.
So I can't be the eloquent one here, which wouldn't happen, but I need to get to Steve's level, so here I am.
All right, you gotta speed up that.
What time is it in Canada right now? What time is it for you?
It is 4:23 right now.
That's a man of fucking culture right there.
Yeah.
4 p.m. on a Thursday. That's an Irish man right there. Let's fucking go again. Yeah.
A man of sublime refinement.
Actually.
Let's fucking go, man.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Little Irish Oreo we got going on here.
Okay. Well, yes. Listen, let's
just move on from that one quickly.
Move on from that. So, what should we talk about first, folks? I think let's talk about potentially what would be our most aligned interest of the new releases. I would suspect in an exciting kind of way, potentially, which would be the album called "Hit It" by Vianova.
Yep.
Now, we couldn't get to the album for a couple of days. So I was away, which is why we didn't do the episode last week. So, Burb, I think with the first one, potentially to check it out and put it online. You said something about like, this is a perfect metalcore album. What is your take and how significant to you is this album?
When I put that title, like it was like one of the best metalcore albums ever written, was so bold, but I was like literally thinking about it. I'm like, this is perfect, like start to finish. Like this is such a good record. Like maybe subjectively, sure, maybe people aren't into the funk and the weirdness of Vianova's music. I get it. But in terms of like objectively, in terms of what I look for in criteria in music and albums, like start to finish, variety, every song slaps. There's a consistent theme and feeling. Like the lyrics are also thought provoking. Drew, I watched your video. You did a great job dissecting the lyrics and maybe even enjoy the album even more. Like, I think this album is fucking flawless. Like, it is so good, especially for a debut. And the fact that we had Alex on the podcast is just so wicked. Like, you guys, I've seen your album reactions, but Drew, I'd love you. What do you think about the album now after dissecting the lyrics and all that stuff?
I'll be honest, I haven't had many opportunities to go back to it. I think you guys will understand as well that I actually have been analyzing my own music consumption lately, and I've been barely listening to Spotify at all because I'm spending so much time editing music that I'm actually just consuming music via editing and the reactions themselves. So any time away from that is generally appreciated. So I haven't gone back to the album, but because of how good it is as a whole piece of work, and again, I know we've had loads of conversations in the past with the three of us about like how we all view the album experience a little bit differently. I know Steve, not to say that you don't care about the album experience, but as long as it just has loads of banger singles that you can go back to, you're not too into the, not even like in a, in a critique
less
way.
Than you lads, for sure.
Yeah, like I love the kind of snapshot in time that an album is that you can kind of go back to and relive that experience, especially when there's like a cool theme. So yeah, I haven't gone back to a lot of the singles because I just feel like it worked so well in the context of that album that I'm like, this is one of those albums that, like Burb mentioned, is so consistent that I don't have any qualms with just putting it on from start to finish and going through it. So it's definitely one that I'm saving for the right moments to relive it. But yeah, I think your title, Burb, I know obviously any title like that is always going to be divisive with people, but I don't think, like when I seen your title, I was like, okay, yeah, I know that's obviously going to be something that people will disagree with, but I seen no issues with that title. I made the comparison that, I don't know how accurate this is, but it feels like this album is kind of like a shift that we had with the Thal movement. Not because of his, like, the more nuanced sound that is in Thal, but it just feels like this is going to be an album that in years to come we're going to have seen a lot of different bands maybe trying to replicate the sound or just the creativity, because I think their sound is very hard to replicate. Like, how do you replicate what they've done on that? It's so nuanced and unique, and even Alex in and of himself is almost impossible to like replicate with how insane his style is. So I just, bit of a long shot maybe, but for a first album as well, it was just so impressive. I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, it's incredible. Like, I mean, of the 11 songs, I have 10 of them like on my playlist, and one of them is an interlude which I didn't add. So it's essentially the entire album, all bangers, and it flows really well as an album. So yeah, incredible.
Have you ever seen like the online discourse about like what's a really good 3-track run on an album? Like, what's the best 3 tracks on an album? And like, I know Under Oath comes to mind. They have a really good like 3 songs that are awesome together, and I feel like Vianova can be added to that conversation, because Baramba to Melanchthonic to Whatever All Right is fucking fire.
Yeah. Yeah, the theme of the whole album as well was just something that I wasn't expecting to enjoy so much, but because of how well they did the whole lore thing going into the singles and, between each single, it just got me interested. I was like, these lads have put so much effort into this whole idea and this world that they've created, with the kind of like funny aspects to it as well. They're not taking themselves too seriously, but it's also like quite a deep topic that they're kind of discussing throughout the album. So I just wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. Now, I listened to it on release day, so I didn't have the lyrics. So I just looked them up and found them on a website while I was listening to it. And it helped the experience so much, just with the kind of clever writing and the storytelling of it. And a really unique story as well. Like, it was very cool. So yeah, that really like brought me into the experience of the album a lot more as well.
Elaborate, Drew, because some people probably haven't seen your album reaction. So what is like the story that people...
I am going to post it. I just posted the Squire Talk reaction, which was hilarious. The music... Have you seen the music video for it?
You nearly died.
Yeah, I've seen the video because of you guys. I watched your reactions to it, so that's how I discovered it.
Yeah, so the theme is just... I don't know, I kind of like resonated with it in a way. It was really interesting because... especially because of how quickly Vianova have blown up as well. They're not at like superstar level yet, but it was really interesting to hear the writing of someone that is kind of going through and dealing with like 10 years of trying as a musician, and all of the trials and tribulations that come with that, or not even just musically. Like, I was able to relate to it in other ways, which is what I thought was great about it as well. But obviously he's using his experience as a musician and going through like all of the bullshit that comes with it, and there were just certain moments, there's too much nuance in it to really start explaining. But I just really connected with it. I thought it was brilliant the way they described, the experiences that they've had, and I thought musically as well, when the music is that fun, and the mix as well. I think it's an in-house mix as well. I think it's one of their members. I'm not sure. I was looking at the credits while I was listening to it. And the mix and the production to pull that off, where they go from like some of the most distorted stuff I've ever heard, where it's like even in the Oyaya breakdown, where there's like a muted like tone that is fuzzy. It sounds so silly, but it's like they've managed to find where something can peak to without it actually being jarring, and then they've just leveled it perfectly there. And then they cut to like room mics in certain moments, so it's this like complete opposite end of the spectrum, where there's like room mics recordings, and then it goes into the most produced thing I've ever heard, and it works so well.
It's funny because it's overproduced. It's like the complaints, but they do it well.
Yeah. Steve, you're from what I've seen of your video, you are the outlier. Now, you didn't hate it, but compared to me and Burb's love for it, I think you were a little bit more indifferent to it, we'll say, in moments.
No, not indifferent. Ultimately, the rating I ended up giving it is a masterpiece, because you could tell the fucking effort they put into every millisecond into that, and it's a phenomenal, interesting artistic journey, and the highs are insanely high, and I don't want to say lows, but like, I was chatting to my brother about this actually yesterday. We're on our way to a gig, and he made a good point. It's such a creative, boundary-pushing album. They do all kinds of things in it that they're unlikely, because of that, to hit the perfect Venn diagram of any one person's taste, because they'll go, if you love the funk stuff, like, well, you'll enjoy that for 10 seconds. Maybe they'll go away from that. So it will be rare if someone's like, I love every second of this as my preference of music. And that was kind of my experience. I thought it was super impressive. Whatever I Write is still my song of the year. I think that song is fucking incredible. And Melanchthonic is a fucking brilliant song. And Marimba is fantastic. No Believer is great. Like there are greatness moments in there, but there's also, it's so fucking weird intentionally at times that I'm like, I'm not enough of a prog guy that I'm like, whoa, I'm like, all right, lock me back in. Where are we going with this?
Yeah.
And so artistically, I think it's phenomenal. I think it needs to be celebrated. I think it's essentially an instant classic of an incredible one-off kind of an album. But I found it a very challenging listening experience from start to finish. And so what I'm excited about, and since listening to it the first time, I'm actively listening to it multiple times since, so that the craziness can dissolve into familiarity, and then I can really get into it and enjoy it. And that's what I'm like. It's a really amazing piece of work, and I'm like, fucking hats off to them for what they've done. It's exceptional, but it's not in my usual wheelhouse of like, give me a fucking catchy sing along, big harmony chorus and groove and the rest. So it's a complex emotion I feel for it.
It's funny because, like, yeah, you mentioned prog about the record, and I feel like, yeah, it is like taps into prog metal and metalcore, but like I feel like it's just an album full of so many different genres. Like, there's elements of like Kanye West with the auto tune at the beginning. There's some Kendrick Lamar. Like, they're taking influences from a whole bunch of different genres. I'm hearing like the Bruno Mars stuff. I'm like, this sounds like contemporary pop. And I'm hearing a lot of like samples. I'm like hearing old 70s stuff. It's just, that's what makes the album so weird. I feel like, sure, it is like prog, it's metalcore, but I feel like it's just an album with so many different genres of music. And actually, one other cool thing about it was, I don't know about you guys, but when I see comments about, you know, talking about these records, like, oh, it sounds like this band, or this song sounds like this band. When it comes to these bands that I really like, or these songs that I think are amazing, people are always describing their music with so many different bands. So when it comes to Vianova, it's like, oh, this sounds like Periphery. Oh, this sounds like Loathe. Oh, this sounds like Thornhill. Oh, this sounds like a Van Animate here. Oh, this sounds like this. No one can actually pinpoint exactly who they sound like. Where you can go to, I don't want to throw them under the bus. It's the band that I'm thinking of right now. But like in Van Animate, you can argue a lot of their old stuff sounds like Northlane. That's like the one similarity that always comes to mind. But when it comes to Vianova, it's like Periphery, Loathe, Thornhill. It sounds like this, sounds like that. And to me, that's what makes those albums and songs like so special, is when it's really hard to pinpoint exactly the influences.
Yes, and just to clarify as well, when I say prog, I don't mean specifically like prog metal, where it's largely about syncopation and time signature fuckery. It's more like it's progressive. And it is like pushing the boundaries within the modern version of progressive, like progressing metal, by not having any genre boundaries, so to speak.
Yeah,
and you make a good point. They've got a lot of, when you have that many comparisons, it means it's something quite unique, because it's rare that you get an exact version of all of those kind of influences potentially. So it's definitely its own thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at as well when I compared it to the like Thal shift, not because stylistically it's doing something, I don't know, like it's kind of a hard one to talk about. I'd love to get you guys to weigh in as well. Maybe Burb specifically, because I'm sure you were kind of listening to, you know, the genres around this time. But obviously when Thal came on the scene, we've seen years of bands kind of trying to do that. So I guess same with Gent, and then the Thal kind of progression of that. This one, it feels, like Steve said, kind of progressive in that sense, where it feels like a lot of modern metalcore has seen what, let's say, Bring Me's been doing, Architects have been doing for the last few years, and then it kind of, Bad Omens had the big album in 2022, and we've seen a lot of bands trying to do that. We've seen bands trying to do the Sleep Token thing, and it feels like this is a new band coming on the scene that isn't just like trying to do something like the bigger bands already. They've just said, you know what, fuck it, we're going and doing our own thing, and they've done it to this level, which is why I feel like maybe it's a terrible show. I don't even know. It's again, it's open for debate, but it feels like a big shift in, like, even for example with Loath's album, the I Let It In album. Obviously, that is very unique, especially for its time as well, and that was a game-changing album. But even this like makes Loath's album not feel that weird. Like, this is such a weird album. It's insane, but they managed to pull it off. It's almost like its own genre completely, you know.
I hear you.
It is inaccessible. I think if my wife were to hear this album, she'd be like, nah, Turn it off.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but I think it's because it is pushing such a strong new world of boundary that people will only really see the impact of it years from now, and they go like, that's changing things.
Maybe because I love all this weird stuff that I feel like this is not that challenging. That could be just me, and because of how much prog I listen to, so I get
That's
it.
just you, buddy.
But like when Drew brought up Vianova, to me, the Macedon Under Vatten, when that came out, that's a fucking challenging, weird record. Especially the fact that it's like an hour and 20 minutes or something, or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But like when I heard, so Drew, I hear your point. And so when it came to like the riffs and the guitar work, I'm like, this is fucking revolutionary. And I remember stating in my album review, like, this is going to change the guitar world. And then like it did, like literally follows everywhere now. So when it comes to Vianova, I'm not too sure, because like I feel like the actual like what they're doing on the instruments are just taking loads of ideas that are already kind of existing, but just making it really fucking weird and creative and bombastic. But like the stuff's already been kind of done. So that's where I'm like, I'm not too sure if it's going to change the entire landscape. The one, maybe in terms of like creativity, maybe bands are like, let's fucking add samples. Let's start adding more samples. Let's start adding more like bass slapping and stuff like shit like that. I think is how it'll change it. But like Vianova changed from a guitar perspective, where Vianova maybe creativity.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to change the landscape of sound, but they are going to change the landscape of do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter. Do it authentically, do it for the love of it, and that will translate. Like for, that's the thing. If it's done authentically and interestingly, like you got a whole plan to it, then that is the thing to lean into. And I think part of what speaks to that working is that they've just teamed up, seemingly according to their Instagram post, with Future History Management, who are the management company for Sleep Token and President. Like clearly what they're doing is so unique, well thought out, and interesting and concerted that is of huge value. If you're so different from anyone else, there is no competition. And if you Future History Management seem to have that in their artists, like there's nothing exactly like it, and then that is something that worth kind of, I guess, strapping your rocket to and going. So Vianova are going to explode,
and I hope so. Yeah. Like if the whole like if they're going to change the game, all kind of like depends on how popular this album gets, because it's like it's known in our communities, but like how well will the metalcore community really know it, or prog metal? So time will tell. Like Loathe, it took some time for people to start picking up on that record, and then all the shoegaze stuff, and then people would like go back to where's this all coming from? Oh, Loathe, and then that's how they kind of blew up. So with this future management thing, oh man, I didn't even know that it's like fucking Sleep Token President. Like, that's going to be nuts if they actually blow up.
Yeah, and such a unique. They're so unique, even just compared to those two. Like President and Sleep Token, obviously very cryptic, and then Vianova are just the least cryptic people ever. Like obviously they've had moments that are cryptic with the album release, but they do it in such a way that's so full of humor that you've got like such an endearing quality, because their music is it's so good, so you already want to listen. And then they just like all seem to. That was another thing as well that I loved about all the videos and the rollouts. There's an authenticity to the memes and the videos and even the music videos that they've been doing that is like, if all of the band members weren't fully involved in the fun, it would just not translate very well. It would be a bit cringy. If it was like purely Alex, who seems to be the mastermind behind a lot of the funny parts, but he still needs the full squad to show up and actually want to be a part of it. And they all seem to be on the same page in that way as well, which is hilarious. All of the acting is like intentionally not great, but it works so well for what they're trying to get across. So that's another aspect of it that I think is not overlooked. I think a lot of people are enjoying that, but it's definitely something that I was paying attention to as well when especially in the Squire Talk video, which was hilarious,
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Bill Murray. Like the music's good, but the authenticity of their delivery and their music videos and the memes and whatever, no one else is kind of doing it to that same, like leaning full the fuck in at the potential detriment of like, this might alienate some people, but it doesn't, because it's so fucking authentic as a fun point. So Bill Murray has this thing of like cranking hogs is his whole, like crank your hog, like fucking beat your meat. It's a whole thing. It's a part of the lore that is Bill Murray. And I was seeing them at Reading Festival, and he's like, hey, everyone, put your hands up in the air. And we're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, put your hands like this. And we're like, oh, yeah, we're going to do like love hearts. And he's like, now start doing this. Yeah, crank those fucking hogs. But he leans so hard into it.
Yeah.
And you can't help but just be like, this is fucking wonderful. It's fucking hilarious.
It's one of those things, because you could almost argue that leaning too far into memes and being very jovial with your music can kind of like water down the product in a way from a marketing standpoint, because people like that, we've seen it with the Sleep Tokens and Presidents and all these Bad Omens. They're all very like serious bands and how they're marketed. So it, you know, the quote unquote, even like Loathe, like we discussed, everything is very serious and cryptic, and you know, there's no responses from the band saying like, yo, you know, we're the, you know, some of the shit that Vianova respond in their comments is absolutely golden. Like I just be scrolling through their responses and it's always hilarious. And you know, that can be, it's like a fine line to tread along, because if you do that too much, you can almost just feel like the band as an entity isn't that serious. But because their music is so captivating and is so unique and so different, they can pull it off. So they are just in such a unique position. Their music is great. People are clicking with the music, and then they're also hilarious. So it's like, it's just best of both worlds, you know?
A band I think of as a comparison point is Electric Callboy, because they are goofy and funny and the songs are kind of parody situations. And I think as a result, I would rarely consider any of their songs to be like masterpieces, because it's all kind of yucks. Even if they do like a serious song about nightmares or whatever it might be, I'm still like, I don't know. It feels kind of odd because of the presentation they've done thus far. Whereas you could say like Bill Murray does kind of for the yucks and funny things, but there's something about the music itself and the seriousness of that maybe that's the balance that makes it work. Same with Vianova. Their music itself is not like comedy songs.
Yeah. The lyrics especially, right?
Yeah, because Electric Callboy, as fun as it is to check them out, I never go back to the music. It's just not something that clicks with me. It's like, yeah, it's a fun like party song to listen to that blends two worlds. They're very popular. People want to see what you think, but I'm not spinning an Electric Callboy track very often, if ever, if I'm being
There's
honest.
2 or 3 that I
live.
fucking rinse. Yeah, live they're exceptional.
Again, I've seen them live. I don't think I'm going to be like, oh, I've seen them live now. All of a sudden their music is now something I want to spin. It's just not really something I can see myself doing, you know? Like,
There's 2 or 3 that I think are forever spinnable, which is We Got the Moves, Hypa, and Elevator Operator fucking bangs. That's a good track.
yeah.
I listen to all those songs on the regular, actually.
Yeah,
the thing is, I was like you, Drew, with the Electric Callboy, and then I saw them live. I'm like, and I was prepping myself for the concert. I'm like, these songs actually fucking slap. And I brought my brother to the concert too, and he ended up spinning Electric Callboy after the show too. But yeah, they are like goofy, and it seems like one time thing, but they're actually really fucking solid.
Yeah.
Yep. Very
But look, yeah, you don't really get to the position they're in for not being somewhat fucking good, you know, in this space. So yeah. Sorry, bro.
I was just gonna say before we move on from Vianova, because I know we're talking about them a lot, but I gave the album 9.5 because like I don't know if this is a 10 out of 10. Like 10 out of 10, like there's something about it that's just not fully 10 for me. And then I've been listening to the album a lot since, and I really like it. But I will say, even though the album is flawless, it does really pick up a lot more at Maramba. 5, 6, and then towards the end of the album is where it's like fucking heat. The first 4 songs are great, but then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I'm like, this is fucking insane.
Yeah, finish is very strong.
The
I think
finish
it's
is great.
more unusual and experimental in the early doors. Wheel of Fortune is probably the one I struggle to really vibe out the most.
I think
with,
me too. Yeah.
But that's fine. You know, and it might be that's something that grows over time in a slower pace. Who knows?
Yeah, that's where certain tracks sometimes, and I'll finish up on this one, but like sometimes going with the lyrics, it's not something I always do, but I found that sometimes when I do just delve into the lyrics when I listen to an album, it makes those like songs that I'm not as into, it just puts them into more perspective, and all of a sudden they start to, even though musically they might not be your thing, you're still like, oh, it makes so much sense why this sounds like that because of the theme, you know? And then it just makes that portion of the album make a lot more sense, and you can vibe with it a little bit more. But yeah, I look forward to listening again.
As a segue from that, potentially, Bad Omens released their second song of the year.
Yep.
And I'm surprised by this as a choice to give the attention you would give to, what the hell just happened?
My dog just hacking away.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, fine. Bad Omens, I'm surprised they've decided to make this a standalone single that gets the attention of a single, because I didn't find it to be particularly interesting musically or structurally. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I think I ultimately gave it a solid. It's quite vibey. It's cool, but I think it might make sense either lyrically. Maybe there's something interesting about it and why the tone of it is what it is for the lyrics are doing, but I didn't pay attention to lyrics. Or perhaps within an ultimate album, then it really shines in a particular way. But as a single, it was pretty surprising. I've seen Burb's
Yeah,
take
we
on
haven't
it.
really
But Drew,
spoken
I've not
about it,
seen yours.
or I haven't posted my video yet. Myself and Steve haven't posted. I've seen Burb's take, but myself and Steve, I guess, haven't posted the video yet. So
Well, you like drum and bass, right, Drew? So
yeah,
what'd you think?
I have a fun take on this one, which I did a big silly deep dive on the lyrics again, which I just kind of started doing around the Sleep Token Caramel thing. And funnily enough, this one kind of feels like Bad Omens version of Caramel that Sleep Token
Oh.
did with the lyrical concepts. I don't know if you guys delved into the lyrics, but
Nope.
it's very. I'll just read it out. Where was it specifically that I was looking at? But yeah, it's like Noah really, like, metaphorically. I know they don't wear a mask, but you know, he's really letting the curtains down slightly and talking about fame and how much he, I think, quote unquote, hates it. He's essentially saying that. He says, I tried to settle in a life of relevance, but I long to be lost. Like, it's no secret that Noah hasn't been someone who's enjoyed the spotlight that's come so quickly with Bad Omens. He's seemingly stayed quite away from that. So I was interested to see the lyrics, and he said, I tried to settle in a life of relevance. So I guess him settling into fame. But I long to be lost. That one's obvious. And I tried to sever it, walked to the precipice. So again, I don't know how much of this is metaphorical, but he tried to sever it. Maybe he was considering walking away at some point. To the sound of applause. And then there was another line that was really, really interesting that he said, and their echoes sit alone in a prison made of bone. Oh, I hate it, but it's home for me. In every place, I'm on my toes, and I still feel like I impose. It's okay to let me go if you need. There was another one, I think. Yeah, but I just felt like it was maybe not as obvious as the Caramel lyrics by Sleep Token, but it did really feel like Noah was like really leaning into that,
Interesting.
you know,
I can see that.
theme of hating the celebrity world. So
The poison
that-
chalice of it.
that did add again. It's something that it's so hard to balance with doing a first time reaction. That's why I've been just doing deeper dives into the music after the fact. It's like I'll give the first reaction if people want to hang around and just listen to me yab about the finer details, because I'm just not going to be able to listen to the music and soak it in and also pay attention to the lyrics in one go. Some people can do it and it's very impressive. Like I used to watch some guys called Lost in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
They're like, they're fucking incredible at like hearing the lyrics as they're listening to it and reacting to it. They're feeling the music and also breaking down the lyrics. I'm like, and they're doing it with like rap music as well. I'm like, that's impressive. So yeah, I do it after the fact, and it added a lot more to the song imposed, because I know I feel you on it not being the most incredible grandioso single like Spectre was, but it's it definitely adds a new dynamic to it lyrically.
I think that's a good shout, because I never really pay attention to lyrics, especially on first listen, especially when it comes to metalcore music, but it really paints a picture. And if the music and the lyrics are actually portraying that, like through the song progression, like I think it can land a lot better. It makes me want to hear it again. And like the video too, like just because I'm looking at the visuals of the video, I'm like, oh, this is a song about love. This is a love song, you know, tortured love kind of thing. And then speaking of the video, actually, I'm a little bit disappointed personally from the video, although like it was well shot and beautiful cinematography. Just me with Spectre, I'm like, this is like a creepy horror A24 film. Like I really like the look of this. I'm like, is Bad Omens going to be continuing this like creepy look? I'm here for it. And then instead, the new song is like, oh, this is just like a lovey song that's like drum and bass, electronic. Like, oh, okay. So my expectations of what Bad Omens was going to do suddenly diminished, and now they're just doing this other thing, which is totally fine. But it's just like a little bit of a letdown for me personally, even though I still enjoyed the song. Like I went editing the TikTok for it, and now and like, oh, this is actually slapping. Like the more I hear it, the more I'm liking it.
Yeah, it's just the lens. That was again another point that I talked about in my video, where it's just the lens that you decide to view the song under. If you view it as, oh, this is Bad Omens that released tracks like Artificial Suicide and Dethroned, you're gonna be pissed off. Like just no matter what. Like it's nowhere. It's not a metal song.
Pissed
it's just
off
not a
strong.
metal song. There's no guitars. There's no screaming. It couldn't be further from metal at this point. So you're gonna be pissed off unless you have some wiggle room for enjoying other genres of music, or you are going to view it from the perspective of being a little bit open-minded and you just want good music at the end of the day. So I kind of fell in the middle. I was like, if this is just me viewing a song for a song that I want to go back to, I think it's like a 90 out of 100. I really enjoyed it that way. But if I'm rating it as the expectations are, this is Bad Omens that are known for being heavy. Their roots have been grounded in metalcore. and this just like isn't metal at all. So I kind of found a balance in my rating to go with that. But yeah, an interesting single choice, like a really interesting single choice. I think is the main takeaway.
Yeah, I respect it. Although I would have preferred maybe a different kind of single if there's other songs like Spectre on the album or something else. But it's different. It's interesting. It seems more like just like an album cut rather than a single.
Yeah, I was literally saying they've just dropped an interlude as a single. It feels like an interlude on the Death Piece of Mind, you know.
But maybe their point is they're trying to shake expectations.
Exactly, and I think they definitely are.
Yeah, I think they, especially what Noah seemingly been going through. I think they would benefit from trying to keep people, not keep people guessing, but kind of prove that like you don't know us, you don't know what we're about. Like, let us just do our thing, and that'll be best for everyone.
Yeah, that was one of, interestingly, again, I yapped for a lot of time on this fucking song, but that was another point. Yeah, shock of the week. the Bring Me the Horizon discography that I'm doing at the moment. I'm trying so hard not to like compare everything to Bring Me, but I've also started doing the older Bad Omens albums. I did the first album, which is literally like Sempiternal Part 2, which is, it's great. It's actually a really solid album from start to finish.
I've heard that about it. I've not heard it.
Oh yeah, they were so Bad Omens, man.
But the interesting thing about it is, and I was just going in on it a little bit with, so Bring Me kind of had their big, you guys can step in here as well, because I got a few opinions back from people on YouTube and my Patreon, but Sempiternal was like the really big coming out party for Bring Me the Horizon, right? Like that album. Yes. Okay. They were obviously popular in the scene, but that album really...
They were growing, but that was the rocket ship.
Okay. So let's compare that. Maybe not like it's in a different era. So let's roughly compare the Sempiternal blow up for Bring Me to the Bad Omens blow up of the Death Piece of Mind. Okay. Are we on the same page?
I accept the premise.
Okay. Right. It was Sempiternal was Bad Omens or Bring Me's fourth album, and the Death of Piece of Mind was Bad Omens' third album. So I was just making the comparison that it seems that like Bad Omens have always been this band that's kind of either been compared to the likes of Bring Me, and they couldn't really escape that. Then all of a sudden they did somewhat escape that with the Death of Piece of Mind, and now they sound like they're kind of being compared to Sleep Token a little bit as well. But I think with this single being so different and being so even different from the Death of Piece of Mind, it feels like almost a situation like with Sempiternal, that shift into That's the Spirit, where it was just a complete 180 and people were like, what the fuck? It could be one of those situations that right now, as we are all a little bit indifferent to it, we're kind of like, oh yeah, it's a bit of a weird choice and maybe it's not going to land right now. But it could be a situation like That's the Spirit in a couple of years' time, where all of a sudden people are looking at Bad Omens' new album that's coming up and being like, oh, they knew what they were doing at this point. Maybe people weren't going to latch on at that moment, but in a couple of years' time, people could look back on the upcoming album, assuming, and be like, that was kind of their That's the Spirit moment.
I follow that thread, but I wouldn't say That's the Spirit was so wildly in a step. I think it might be like an Ammo sort of comparison, potentially.
Oh, really? That's the Spirit is so far from Sempiternal, like worlds apart.
It's a huge change.
It's cleaner. It's more radio ready versions of things, but not to the strength of the extremity that was Ammo. Well, for me, but I don't know. Yeah, but I think I enjoyed like more of.
I'm always like almost like a gradient. It's like 180 from Sempiternal to That's the Spirit, and then they kind of there's a shift there. It's not like a complete 180 again from.
It didn't feel like a 180 to me, but then maybe because
I remember the shift. I remember because I've been following them since Suicide Season. So then after Sempiternal, they dropped the first single, which was Drown, and I remember watching it. And I saw, what was it, Stevie from Fever 333, and now House of Protection. And I remember, because I followed him on Facebook, actually, him sharing the song. I'm like, this is Bring Me the Horizon? Like, this sounds like old Under Oath or something. This sounds like very emo, like post-hardcore. This is a huge change for them. And then That's the Spirit album was so different. People argue about Sempiternal being like one of the biggest game changers, but That's the Spirit also made so many bands in the scene, like The Word Alive and Under Oath, write like radio rock sounding albums. Like That's the Spirit was got, like,
Can You Feel My Heart was on Sempiternal, right? That's a big fucking radio rock sort of pop song.
But then you got Shadow Moses and like a bunch of breakdown heavy songs. That's the Spirit barely has any breakdowns. Like, it's more of a rock record, and it's awesome. I fucking love it. But I remember
like
it was
these
different
are-
than.
Oh,
I
sorry,
was just
bro.
gonna say ammo was like crazy, but I see the comparison that like that you're saying the Death of Peace of Mind is like the Sempiternal for them.
Well, not necessarily. Like I don't think stylistically they're very similar, but it's
No,
more
like,
just like the kind of the
cultural
moment that,
impact.
yeah, like they've kind of had their moment that's blown them up. And again, this is just kind of like fun hypothesizing. I don't know if this is ever going to come through, but it's just more like looking at it from the perspective of a lot of people are now looking at it and being like, okay, Bad Omens had their big moments, like Sempiternal, they've blown up with Death of Peace of Mind, and it's hard to not keep just like, maybe they're just trying to do a Bring Me, but it's like, I feel like, and even from listening to the interview with Noah, it feels like they don't want to be tied to any particular bracket. So if they want to make a drum and bass song, they're like, fuck it. And I feel like that's the kind of attitude that Bring Me had when they shifted into That's the Spirit. And obviously that was a massive risk because I only just did those 2 albums. And I went from, I literally did them all within the space of 2 weeks, all of the older Bring Me records. And then I got to Sempiternal and I was like, okay, right. The shift into That's the Spirit felt insane. And I was like, wait, their first singles back were, what was it? It was, what did you say this first single back was off That's the Spirit?
Drown.
Drown,
But that was like an
next.
in-between single, I think. It wasn't tied to the album. And then eventually, like, Throne was the first kind of single that was like the album release process, as I recall.
I think they had Happy Song was number 2. That was the second single, whether you choose Your One, Throne or Drown. I was looking at it and it said that Drown was the first single and Throne was number 2. Or sorry, Happy Song was number 2. Which was like, I was laughing at it in the reaction because I was like, oh my God, I need to like speak to people that were around for this era to like see how fucking pissed off they were if they were really into the older style.
It seemed like a lot of musicians were vibing out to it. The comments didn't love it. I was on board. I thought it was really fucking cool because I was thinking like, Ollie can fucking sing now. Like that was the thing. Like sure, he can sing like in this nice mellow tone for like the softer songs in Sempiternal, but like here he sounds like this is like almost like a 30 Seconds of Mars. Like this is like a fucking rock band now, and the songs were fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Bring Me the Horizon that they've done forever and continue to do, I think, maybe the exception might be the first EP of the post-apocalyptic, I can't remember what the fucking name is.
Posthuman,
Posthuman with
Survival
like Obey
horror.
on it and Kingslayer.
Yeah.
They every time they release an album, a lot of people would go like, I don't know, lads. I don't know about this. And then actually every band went, oh, that's amazing. Actually, fucking, we're going to do more of that. And then the next album comes out. It's like, fucking, I don't know. This is a step too far. And then everyone eventually goes, actually, the album's fucking genius. And like, that's what they keep managing to do. And maybe, Bad Omens trying to do their own version of that. But in order to do that, you have to step into some unknown, which is scary.
Yeah. Which is,
So
sorry, bro, God.
well, to go back to your main point, I can follow it a little bit. I'm not quite fully on board with that, the cultural impact, but maybe, especially if this new album from Bad Omens, fuck man, it was going to compare a lot.
Yeah.
But one counterpoint to that, Spectre wasn't that much of a game changer of a single. It sounded like the Death of Peace of Mind single with some Concrete Jungle OST. Like that's the fair. New song is different. It's drum and bass, but there's a lot of drum and bass already. Like it's not that crazy. True. So that's why I like this theory. Yeah, like, I don't know if I'm fully on board.
I don't think it's like obviously it's not going to be a like for like situation. Of course, it's like we're talking like 10 years in the difference or whatever it is whenever Sempiternal came out. But it's more just I think they're so close in terms of the actual chronological order of the album releases. Like I mean, this is Bad Omen's 4th album. Sempiternal was this is Bad Omen's 3rd album. Sempiternal was Bring Me's 4th album. So they're one album in the difference. Both albums really put them, front and center. So it just feels like they could just go and refine the Death of Peace of Mind. But I think the statement of putting this out as a single is where I'm getting at. It's like this could easily be a non-single if they were going to try and refine the Death of Peace of Mind. But I think this is a single, is that statement to be like, we're doing whatever the fuck we want here. And we're so big that you're all going to follow. That's my take so far, but we'll see.
Yeah, smart. It's smart either way. I mean, like I think we've learned enough about the scene, and bands have done the same thing, that if you try and refine your previous record, people will think that that's what they want, but that's not really what they want. They want something kind of new and fresh.
That's true.
It's hard to fucking do.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Interesting conspiracy theory there.
Yes.
I enjoyed that. You made that point fairly well.
Just fairly. Okay. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, because Burb's got his doubts, and I'm on the
No,
fence.
look, it's fair. It's more just a fun
It's a
conversation.
good chat.
I like
good
it.
chat.
I never
It's
would have
random.
thought of that about that, except for
It's just because I'm doing the Bring Me discography at the same time as I'm going back on Bad Omens, and they've got the new songs. I'm just thinking about it. It's fun, you know.
Yeah.
Well, another notable release recently was, and this was our last episode before the couple of weeks off, was teasing about Amy Lee and Poppy and Courtney LaPlante doing a song together. Now, we were trying to guess what would happen, and I think this is me trying to backtrack. I think I was just trying to manage my own expectations by saying I don't think there'll be any scream vocals in this. Because I wanted there to be, but it's like, maybe the shocking thing to do would be not do that and just have it be more like an amazing three great singers doing a ballad thing that would actually subvert the expectation that, oh, they're going to do some fucking heavy ripper. And they did a good balance of all of that. There was a ballad-like, aspect to it. Certainly the way the song started, and Amy Lee's vocals in particular. Poppy actually had some fantastic vocals on this. Very low on the vocal effects, which I love, because there was a little bit of thing that I didn't totally love about the recent album. And then Courtney comes on from Poppy's scream into Courtney LaPlante fucking ripping one. So, Burb, according to you, I owe like 10 beers.
Sorry for all the people spoiling the song for you.
Oh, yeah. So someone commented and added me on Instagram being like, you owe Burb a beer. And I was in Amsterdam. I couldn't record my reactions. So I was like, all right, well, fucking, there's going to be some screams. But they're a Patreon member. And they were like, that was me, actually. I'm so sorry. I was like, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's great.
So, yeah, I guess download festival or something. Yeah, and you owe me a beer or 10 beers. I forget the actual bit, to be honest.
It was a beer. It was a beer. But
I'm pretty sure it was 10 beers.
I think I upped the ante a little bit because it was a pussy bet that he's had going on. One beer. Oh my God. One beer in a year. Like, oh my God. Wow. Can't wait for that.
It wasn't a beer per screen moment. That would be insane.
Yeah. I think I've watched. See, it is the world that we're in moves so quickly now that a week ago is actually dated at this point. It's like, people have just forgotten about it. It's like, whatever. But it is obviously speculative that there might be another single. I guess that's the next bet. Is there going to be another single, lads? For 2 beers. Now, everybody relax. It's 2 beers. I know you're going to get ahead of yourself.
Slow down.
Slow down,
1.5.
There's definitely at the end of the music video, there's a moment where the music kind of swells up again and Poppy sort of turns her head and then you zoom out in some film thing. But my immediate thought was, okay, that's hinting at a part 2 of this storyline, maybe the 3 of them. But someone else on my Patreon or someone, I think, said that could be just, it was on Sumerian Records. Maybe this is part of a Poppy music arc. And maybe she's got a song next that takes on from where that one left off. Because I think logistically it's tricky to get those 3 folks to align on songwriting, recording, release, filming, all of that stuff. So it'd be very ambitious to do even a fucking 2-song release thing. But yeah,
I would bet on these 2 beers, saying that there's a second single.
Want to get 3 beers, Steve, in total?
Can I raise you a beer?
Technically, it should be 13, but...
Well, technically, no, it fucking shouldn't, Burp. I'd like to see another one. And I'd like the second one to be just fucking unhinged. But then we'd need Amy Lee to have learned to do scream vocals. Someone said she's done some distorted vocal moments in something from years ago, but...
Yeah. I think it was just a case of, look, let's do 1 single, let's get together, do a single, and we'll see how it goes. And I think it's done pretty well. So I reckon I'm sure they'd make time to do another single based on how well that one was received.
That's my thought process too.
Yeah. I don't think it was planned out like, oh, here, let's do an EP or something like that. I think it's like, let's just have fun as a side project for all of us. We're all busy with our own stuff. Let's give this a go, get Jordan involved, and we'll go from there. You know?
So put a little question mark at the end, being like, we may never resolve this moment, but it begs the question, will they do another one? And then you can gauge whether that seems like a positive response to will they do another one or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
it
seems like a no-brainer to try and do more of it. Even before they'd fucking released it, like surely these 3 folks in a song is going to do well. As long as the song is good. And I did think it was a good song. It's not changing the game. It's very straightforward for the most part. It's a It's a decent metalcore song, and I really liked it. It's a good chorus. It's quite catchy. It's not phenomenal, but it's good.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great thing, because it could have been whatever. Because we have these three powerhouses in a song. The song doesn't have to be amazing for it to be notable. So
it'd be
fair
really hard to make something like that phenomenal because it's too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, to me, it just seems like a fun collab. So it was bound to be solid, and it ended up being solid.
Yeah. It was about as good as you can get, like, quote unquote. And I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's a generic metalcore song done to the absolute peak of what you can do with generic metalcore. It's really, really well done. It's so catchy. It's got some fun guitar moments in there. Like, Mike Stringer is the guitarist on it, which is interesting. So how does that translate? If Poppy used to do the kind of lead on it, how does that translate? Yada, yada, yada. Which is why I think it's just a once-off thing that they made a song for. But it'll be interesting. But yeah, I think it's, like I said, it's a generic metalcore song. It does exactly what it says in the tin. And it's done well. It has 3.1 million on YouTube in 7 days. And like,
God damn!
4.1 million streams already in 7 days. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of streams.
It's got repeatability. It really does.
Yeah, it's damn solid. Like, everything about it is just well produced, good music video, just a solid fucking banger.
Yeah.
Currently, it is my 28th best song of the year.
Whoa.
Well, you're that organized? How the fuck do you know?
Dude, I have to, yeah. Because I won't fucking remember at the end of the year what I've heard. So every time I check something out, I slot
order
it.
That's a good idea.
But are you not continuously shifting it then? Because the reason I don't do that is because
they change.
It just moves.
But rarely do they change massively. But yeah, they do change.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got 103 songs all ranked.
Wow.
So they're only like the really good songs that make it to that list in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
There's maybe 2 songs that are solid in there, but mostly it's like,
I just use my Spotify liked tracks. That's just like kind of my playlist, and I just at the end of the year I just go back to January and just go through the list like that.
I go through my videos and my Spotify and other things, and I already know like the top 5 in my head, which I wouldn't mind talking about one of these songs, but I felt like I had another point to say. Oh yeah, about the Poppy thing. Okay, just for fun, again, if they were to drop another single, what would it sound like? Because now
he wants more beers.
I want some more beers. I'm thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I don't have any more beer. I would like to hear personally. Well, actually, I don't know if I would like to hear personally, but I feel like it's probably going to be a rock ballad if they were to do it again. I would take your guess, Steve.
I'd go the other way.
Yeah,
I would go. It would be unhinged, like No Loss, No Love level Spirit Box, just out there, different and odd. Just let their creativity go wild and see what the fuck that creates. Because that's the most interesting thing they could do. Because they've already done what would be 3 very professional people and all the people involved in production and songwriting, a fucking technically good song. They've done that. If they do a really lovely rock ballad, it'll be another version of that same thing. I think do the Vianova, clear all the fucking boundaries, and do something that is whatever the fuck you want, because they're 3 very different, very creative people. I'd want to see that. I think that's the only move.
I don't think that's what this project is, but yeah, like this project is like, let's just make very safe metalcore music. I think they're still capable of making really good music, but I think that's what their individual projects are for. Like Spirit Box is a very, they're already kind of doing music like that. I don't think they need this outlet to do more of that.
Well, yes. Well, so it depends on what their motivation is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the motivation to do that is to make as much money as you can, I think. To do like what you know is going to work and be kind of safe and really good, and like actually everyone's going to do well. What a lovely collaboration.
I think that first song is literally that. They're telling us that. It's like, this is where, like, it's still great.
Or what if they are interested in feeding the scene and you have this collaboration with a fucking great repeatability song that can play anywhere and do well. People get interested. Then you release another one that is the bridge to fucking insanity of the metal world.
And imagine if it was written by Isaac Hale of Knock Loose.
Yeah.
Just a Knock Loose.
I just appreciate your innocence in this situation, Steve. If they do that, of course, it would be amazing. But I think at the end of the day, these endeavors are businesses as well. And I think they've seen the numbers of this. And again, I don't think they've got these songs pre-made. I think they're just going to do another song similar to that if they do it again. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with like a quote unquote cash grab, as some people call it. I don't think it's as crude as people are describing it in that way, but I think they're here to like exercise really good songwriting in a very generic modern metalcore way. Yeah. Hence why Jordan Fish is here, you know.
Should we DM Mike Stringer to see if he can join us for a second and just clear the air? Is this a cash grab, sir?
Get some insight.
I actually you can argue it's like a cash grab, but I feel like the whole like women in metal thing is such an important thing to talk about that it's like this was necessary in a way too. So
yeah, like cash grab to me, it's not like that kind of, obviously the wording of that is a little bit, it's a bit heavy as wording.
We're messing.
Yeah, like I think that like I don't think cash and the monetary gain they will get from this is the forefront of why they're doing it. It's obviously, I'm sure it's an afterthought, but it's like they just want to collab because they know it's such a fucking big deal for the three like quote unquote powerhouses of like modern metal with women, maybe excluding, you know, Tatiana from Ginger and maybe some other ones that I'm maybe forgetting, but I think they're the kind of four, you know, horse women of modern metal, the four of them. Tatiana, there's no one else that I can think of that's like that.
Someone's mentioned Brink, is it from In This Moment?
In This Moment.
There's a few great ones.
Yeah, okay.
Increasingly, like, I mean, because they're still small and up and coming, but like Haley Roughton from Gore is a powerhouse vocalist.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah.
It's not the same level though. It is, with all due respect. It's not like
in terms of clout. No.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, because if it was about that, because it wasn't about monetary gain at some point, then there could be other vocalists involved for that reason. But this is what I mean. It's like they're very aware of. This is a dead conversation anyway. I don't like this whole like it's kind of a pointless thing because I'm not speaking to any of them, and nor would they just ever come out and say it's a cash grab, you know. So it's just complete speculation. No. It's kind of nonsense.
It seems like a positive side effect of doing what they've been doing. But yeah, we talked about this actually in the last episode. They're like, the impression that I fully get from Spirit Box, for example, is that they do things that they want to do, that they're interested in doing. Like the Megan Thee Stallion collab was not like a contrived sort of thing. It's like they are like Megan's Courtney's a huge fucking fan. It's like I'd love to do that. End of. I suspect.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus by saying the cash grab, by the way. But if we're speaking of cash grabs, should we? This is a terrible segue.
Oh my god! I see what you're gonna do.
President.
Oh no! Sure, president. Oh. Yeah. No, I was gonna say plug the Patreon.
Oh wow. That would have been
okay, right. Yeah, okay.
I thought he was like.
So now all the president fans are going to come for me for no reason. Sweet. Perfect. I don't think
before they were coming to you for a good reason. You were going so hard in the paint against president fans, dude. Like, wow.
I don't think I really was. I think that's just like kind of. I don't know. Some people just can't really read between the lines of when I am like trying to get a point across, but I'm not actually like genuinely. I know I was using some explicit language and stuff, but that is genuinely just how I speak to a lot of the people in my, like that sounds very
I know. You know, your like, Twitch like chat is used to that like abuse.
It's like pub chat, yeah. So when I speak to the camera sometimes I do realize that there's a bit of a disconnect there, whether it be culturally, I don't know. But I did see some comments back and yeah, I got some. Do you know what? I actually got a better response to that video, which was me just flaming the president.
So fans. Hard.
And the other video where I just said, I don't really like his vocal processing. People were like so up in arms about it. Yeah. Well, sorry. Yeah. Let's join the Patreon. We'll get that plug out of the way. And then over to president. Because I thought Burr was going there. And I guess
we definitely can. Ever. But we got to finish off with talking about one of the best songs of the year. Because let's get over the president stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I know Steve has some things to say about that one. But the president stuff, I went in. I don't know, dude. It's so average. Like, it's so average.
Yeah.
Like, I still stand by my take that it is not average. I think it is a little bit above average. Like, and here's the... I know.
Wow.
Listen, I've cushioned that a bit. I think it's above average. But I don't think it's exceptional. I don't think it's brilliant. I don't think it's genius. I think it is above average. And therefore, I'm interested in it and I enjoy it. The choruses, the melodies are great. Actually, pretty much across the board. The melodies, the choruses stay in my head in a positive way. I filter out the Fearless chant, but everything else is good. Even the chorus for Fearless, the melodies are great. I think the songs are above average, but that doesn't measure up to the intrigue, and it doesn't balance out, for me, the egregious use of the vocal effects, which I just sonically do not enjoy listening to. And I enjoy some bands, and some, because I get this in the comments as well. You fucking like Vessel, he uses effects. Like, there's different types of effects, but it's also just like, why and how are they using it? And what I struggle with is when you use a strong tuning effect, so that when your voice changes down a few notes, you hear this like tumbling down the stairs of the notes. It's just like, it feels random. And I think it's well in part because I've recorded myself in my bedroom making music, right? And I've used autotune when I was in a pop punk band. So when I hear tuning doing these hard cliffs, I think that was a shitty take. So I'm caught up in like, it's correcting a bad initial vocal. So I struggle to hear it as like, what a wonderful, cool aesthetic. Unless it's thematically makes sense. And I know that they're kind of trying to do that, but it's just not landing for me. And the songs have to be great. And I'd say of the singles released so far, Destroy Me or Destroy You, I can't remember what the actual put at the end of that was, is the weakest.
Average.
Interesting. Interesting.
You know, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, that song is average. That song is average.
You guys are talking about like the vocal effects. My problem also is the breakdown, the little bell effect. I'm like, this is just Architect Scene Red, and then there was like a fly buzzing in the recording rooms. Like, I'm like,
yeah, that was
so. Sorry,
it was something that I actually, it's so dumb. Why would they put a fucking wasp in the fucking breakdown?
It's fucking talking.
Silent Planet did a cool one where it sounded like a swarm of bees in the Anunnaki breakdown or something like that. Remember that?
I think so, yeah.
They did a cool like swarm feel, whereas this was like an individual insect flying around during the breakdown, not like a swarm where it was intentional. It was like, why is there a bee here? Oh, well, we only have one take left. Let's use that. Yeah. Weird choices.
I ended up not publishing my reaction on my YouTube channel. It's only exists in Patreon because I feel a little bit like I'm beating a dead horse. Where like the song is fine, my gripes are the same gripes, so there's no point in saying the same thing again and again. So I'm just gonna leave that where it is.
Yeah, I might feel that way for the next single.
I don't know.
I know it's going to bang for views, but like, I don't need those views.
But I do enjoy going through the lyrics and just seeing if they ever connect the dots at any point. Like, what the fuck is the theme? Why is he wearing a fucking welly on his head? Like, what is the whole thing? Like, it just, I never noticed how disconnected the whole thing is until Burb mentioned it a few times. And I was like,
it's not coherent.
So right. I think it was when you guys were talking about it with Johnny on the breakdown.
From the breakdown.
Yeah.
It's so fucking forced.
It's so true. I never even really put those two together. I think because I was kind of intrigued by the first song and then the second one rolled around. And then Rage is really different. And now I'm kind of just like,
he's got the stupidest ass president mask, man. what it looks like you can find better shit in a Halloween store, man. Like,
dude, at the inaugural rally, is the first time that I've seen someone was at the front of the pit and they were saying there was liquid dripping out of every hole in that mask because like it's completely encasing his head, and in a hot room like that room was fucking sweaty as shit. He must be so regretting his choice of mask. He must come off of the stage and his face looks like a prune. He's just like,
it's so like the fucking show. I need to show you guys the actual skit from that
We've
show.
We've seen the screenshot.
But you've seen the screenshots, but you haven't seen the actual show where he's just like, it's him in the mask.
I've seen the clip
he's like,
of him taking it off.
It's him like stressing out because he's so hot and uncomfortable. He's like, get this fucking shit off me.
You said that in your video, Burb, and that was fucking hilarious.
In the breakdown.
That was the breakdown call out.
Get me out of this mask. Rips it from the mouth hole open.
Yeah. You know what just pissed me off so much as well, Steve? You just said at the first inaugural rally instead of the first fucking president show. Like that pissed me off.
It's because there was all
you were just one of the commenters right there for a second. Well, I was at the first inaugural rally. You were in the fucking venue in London, you prick. All right, you weren't in the.
Lads, we're clipping this, by the way.
Fine, you're right. But it's because they drilled that there was all the stuff around that, the gig, the tickets, it's all that. So that's baked into my brain, unfortunately, because they're very effective with their marketing.
It's funny. But they're so good at it. And this is, look, I hear you on the beating the dead horse. I am covering President at this point for journalistic purposes. Okay?
We'll get to Corn later.
I'm a journalist.
Go on.
I'm covering President at this point for journalistic purposes. I'm just here to offer an objective opinion free from any bias or hatred towards President. But no, genuinely, I don't think it's that bad. It's just my only thing with the whole fucking thing is the vocal effects. That is my only massive issue. Otherwise, it's just kind of like generic metalcore, but I clearly don't have a problem with that because we've just spoken about generic metalcore, which was Poppy, Amy Lee, and Courtney LaPlante. Very generic metalcore done very well. President is doing generic metalcore very well, but the vocal effects I don't fuck with. And that is why I kind of stick around, because it's interesting to see if at any point the feedback that has come from these assumingly pre-recorded singles before all of this happened, I'm sure the EP was ready to go before President was even a thing. And then it's like, let's roll them out. Maybe the next EP or album will have a lot of that stripped back. Who knows?
Yeah. It's like, if generic metalcore is the art of making a motorbike, stay with me. Amy Lee, Courtney LaPlante, Poppy made a fucking Ducati, and it's brilliant, and it's so well refined. And President have made a really good sport bike, but they put like a side pod with a squeaky wheel on it, and it's like, why have you done that?
Motorbike analogy is crazy. Like, of all of the topics you could have went to,
and
there,
like a little
just something that no one will know anything about.
Air horn with a red ball underneath or in the back.
Yeah, just like stabilizers on the side, like fucking.
And they can't see where they're riding because they've got this mask on, and they're just like, I can't see.
Just hitting parked cars, scratch.
Oh god, this is so dumb. But
very dumb.
Yeah, look, I mean, more power to him. He's managed to captivate a massive amount of people in a very short period of time with generic metalcore.
Yeah.
Mask, man. We're making fun of it, but there's something to that mask.
It's fucking genius.
It's going well. And actually, I do have fun talking about it. It's interesting. I'd rather that than another band that's like just some guys on stage in black t-shirts making decent music. Okay, we've seen a lot of this.
Yeah.
So,
because it's fun to talk about the stuff that we love, but it's also fun to roast other things too.
Yeah. Especially when it's something that is kind of at a level where they're doing okay. It's like, hey, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's poke a little bit of fun. They don't need our opinions to be positive.
Definitely, yeah, we're punching up for sure.
Yeah, we're punching up, yeah. Well, to be fair, I will make one point, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it's something that I've seen in my video. I've seen one comment. It wasn't like an overwhelming response, but it was, I guess, a comment that was trying to portray a completely different opinion that is maybe a main reason as to why people are really on board with President, in that the themes of the lyrics are very like religiously inclined, and that is why a lot of people are resonating with the band. And I said, look, that's fair enough. If you want to go in that direction, and that's the kind of argument as to why I shouldn't be able to talk about a vocal effect. Like, it was just such a, like, I'm talking about the vocal effects, and then someone comes along and says, the reason why people love President is because of the religious aspects in the theme, and people can relate to this disconnect and trying to find themselves in, religious conversations and stuff like that, which I understand, but it's irrelevant. It just is.
Yeah, you make some good points there. And
why did you lean in to say that? I get it.
It's to let you know that I wanted to talk. If they enjoy that aspect and they want to discover something about the religious aspects, you know what they should do? Go listen to Ghost. Because that is a band much more thematically cohesive about the religious aspects and exploring those avenues with, I think, better songwriting.
I think a lot of them are probably Ghost fans, though. But I hear your point.
Ooh, I don't think there's a lot of crossover.
Sonically, it's quite different. Vocally,
Ghost fans? No,
I think they're a little bit different. But to my what I'm trying to say is, I think it's interesting that that's where they connect on. But I don't understand how that connects to the President.
Yeah, exactly. He's the President. People are saying that maybe there's going to be a vocalist switch in the next EP, which would be the coolest shit ever. That's a concept that I haven't seen done before, where it's like a 4-year cycle, or like maybe a shortened period of time, where it's like EP is this vocalist, and then other famous vocalist that is now masked comes in.
Singer from sick. McFly becomes the new.
What did you say, McFly, Steve?
No reason. No reason.
All right.
Verbs like what is a McFly?
No, we went to that download festival. There was McFly.
There was a McFly in the breakdown.
There was a McFly in the breakdown. It was
There was a
annoying.
McFly in the breakdown. Get the joke?
What
Joke. Sorry.
we are falling apart.
Yeah, this is tragic. Yeah,
And
look,
what I love is that I know people like it when this falls apart.
Yeah, we're spending too much time on a mid metalcore.
Let's
track.
talk about
call it
something
what
you
it is.
guys fucking loved,
Yeah,
and
go
I
for it,
thought
Bert.
was very good.
Take the wheel.
Oh,
you heard it?
Oh, very good.
Black Shape.
But
Drew's
a
signature.
very interesting track. And let's hear it, Steve.
go.
Well, I mean, okay.
It was
Yeah,
quite
and then
jaunty.
fine. I'll start. Pretty jaunty. Black Shape. So I know that Burb, you had put out a video that you were kind of raving about that. Drew also said something where you were stunned by it. So I presumed this is going to be proggy, black metal, perhaps, but it would like because you're digging death metal, you're digging that kind of stuff lately. And I thought maybe I will enjoy but not be wowed by it. I was wowed by elements of it. Black Shape has some incredible vocals. There's huge sounds. It's pretty epic. And I'm impressed by the song structure is very interesting. It crescendoed in a beautiful way. There's a lot of interesting instrumentation to it. I just think it's such a slow-paced song that I failed to get super excited about it. But that is a me taste thing, I think. But it was good. It was very decent. That was all right.
Yeah. I think maybe Drew, you connected with it because you're paying attention to the lyrics a lot. And that's something that I really liked about this song. And same with the last Black Shape song. So maybe because I have context with the band, I even love it more because their last record, they're an instrumental band. They only had one song out of like an 11-track, 12-track album that had vocals. And it was like only vocals for the last 2 minutes of one song. And then the whole album loops and just plays over again. It's a really weird, interesting album. So now that was like 3-4 years ago or something. Now they're writing music again. And also, I don't know if you guys saw my video, but my intro, I mentioned that, Ryan Tuck from Fifth Hurricane and Leo Brand of Sacrifice have a new label called Paper Cut Recordings. And then they signed Black Shape, which is really fucking sick. I'm like, oh, the metalheads are really appreciating this band, even though they're not like metal typically, right? But anyway, like with this song, like the lyrics, I don't know, there's something about existential dread and death and loss and dealing with mourning and grieving that's just like lyrically is so captivating and heartbreaking yet beautiful. And I don't know, there's something bittersweet too. I hope you live. Like and that lyric is a call out to the last song. Like it's so beautiful, and the moments just give me goosebumps. It's like an actual song that just gives me constant chills. So, but Drew, I would love to hear you talk about it.
Yeah, it's I've only heard the If This Is It track, the one that Bird mentioned with the lyrics in it a while back, and I absolutely loved it. First listen, I absolutely adored it. I didn't do a video of it because it didn't really feel like something that was consistent with what I was posting on the channel at the time. So I just didn't post it. I kind of regret not putting that video out because it was one of those songs that was like similar to like The Fourth Wall. But this one definitely as well, because I have only really experienced the If This Is It track from their album. I wasn't expecting to get like a really prog metal track. I know it's like post rock and it leans into different genres, kind of like has a shoegazy vibe to it in certain elements, but this is like a progressive metal track really with like post rock elements to it. I guess it's like post metal almost. But the opening with the big city like kind of almost breakdown at the start, and then it just slowly crescendos. First like 2 minutes or so was something that I was struggling with a bit, but that is the beauty with a lot of these longer songs, is that when the payoff hits, which is just something I absolutely love in music, these kind of longer progressive tracks, when the payoff actually hits, it makes you want to go back and listen to all those moments that you didn't really click with as much because you know it's coming, and then it just flows nicely and you can kind of go back over it. So yeah, incredible song. Very excited, especially with what Burb is saying, that they've been signed to a label that is from two metal bands, like, different kind of styles of metal, but that tells me they've probably heard whatever they got coming next, and it's probably got a lot of metal moments in it, I would imagine, if it's on like a metal label.
Yeah, like
assuming that's what they are.
Ryan Tuck actually hit me up. He DM'd me. He's just like, hey, like how would you like to check out the new Black Shape song? I'm like, you don't even have to ask me. Like, I was already going to do it. Like, this is fucking awesome. Thank you.
Sick.
And yeah, so he also was just like, you know, raving about it. And this is the dude from Fit for a King, which is a whole different style of metalcore, right? And then the fact that he's just like loving it, and like also JT Cavi from Era is like commenting on my video saying like, this is like, I love this band and stuff. Like a lot of like metalcore people seem to really like it, so explains why I love it so much too. But yeah, it's not like an everyday listen, Steve. I understand it's slow. It's also sad. It doesn't really put you in a great mood either after listening to
I
it.
don't like sad. I don't like it.
It is.
Life's hard enough right now. I'm fucking so exhausted. I'm like, I need shit that could keep me going through the days.
Oh, but it hits like certain emotions that it's hard for a lot of songs for me to make me feel that way. So I don't know. I fucking love it. But yeah, it's not going to be an everyday listen. But when I do hear it, it's just like, it's a fucking experience.
Yeah, it's the exact same reason that I love bands like Calandra. Which is, you really need to check out that Calandra album, Burb, the one prior to their latest
one. Right?
The Line. I think, I don't know, like as a full album, there is some moments in it that are maybe aren't the best ever, but the peaks on that album are like the most S-tier music you're ever going to hear. It's just incredible. So yeah, it's the same kind of thing for me. It's the same way the songs flow. Calandra have moments where they get heavy as well. So it is actually very similar in that sense. Incredible vocalists, incredible musicians. And yeah, it's that kind of same thing. So it's like a different take on what I love Calandra for.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly why I like tagged you in our Discord that are for our patron supporters. But yeah, because I was thinking you were going to fucking love it, dude. After like, you know, when we were drunk and you were showing me Calandra in the hotel room, like, yeah, you totally get this fucking style of emotional.
The lost tapes.
It's like 4 a.m. Yeah.
Drinking health's, what was it, vodka?
Yeah, surrounded by fucking health anal plugs as well. Oh, it's getting crazy.
A bunch of anal plugs.
That's why you deleted the video.
Hotel room.
That's why you deleted the footage. You're like,
oh Jesus, those videos would have done well on a different platform though. So I should have kept them. That's all I'm saying, Steve.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Anyways, that was weird, but yeah, for the exact same reason. Calandra, very similar stylistically to BLACKSHAPE, and I'm interested to see what they got coming. They've got an EP dropping, right?
Yeah, it's like 6 songs, I think.
Hopefully there's a lot more vocals, because
yeah,
I'm not too interested in like a big instrumental EP with like one song with vocals in it.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure they'd make it great, but I'd love just loads of songs like that.
That was the criticism.
But I will say, you can't have a full album of songs necessarily like that a lot of the time, or an EP, because it kind of needs to have an ebb and flow. So if you have like, I think, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure.
Criticism though is just like, how can you have this singer who has this amazing voice but not use it and be an instrumental band? Like, that's just and it's like a no-brainer to sing.
Yeah. Well, look, they've seemingly, copped onto that, and now they're going to go with it. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Woof. Woof. Yeah, I got 2 dogs behind me. So.
Alrighty. Well, we've talked about the big notable releases, I think, of the last couple of weeks here. Yep. In a moment, we'll record a little bonus episode. And as part of that, I think we should answer the question that someone asked us based on that story of the fan at the Korn gig who was gooning to Korn and got ejected
beating his shit,
having too friendly a time with himself watching Korn. The question was like, which band would you, if you had to, get caught gooning at?
Right now.
This is it. We'll answer that question.
Beat our Me Too in a live scenario, then coming over to our Patreon.
We should absolutely not answer
content, so get involved.
Yeah, I know. But before that, are there any other? Are there bands on the radar recently? Do you think? What's going on, Burb?
Whoa.
Okay, bye, Burb. Bye, Burb.
I think I talked about everything, and this pugster needs to go aside. So just give me a second, guys.
I'm going to do a little moment here. So, I've got an Amazon package here. Okay, right?
What is happening?
Don't show your address.
I made sure that was on the other side. So within that is, you know what? I'll open it right now. Now. A little unboxing. Okay. So
listen, we're an hour and 15 into this recording, so fuck it. Worry. Open your mail, Drew.
Sorry, but it's relevant. Okay. Okay. It's my first time seeing this as well. Hold on a minute.
Is that leopard
You'll
print?
See. One second. All right. So, Orbit Culture got a new album coming up. All right. And it's coming out in like 20 days or some shit. And I have had moments where Orbit Culture have for lack of a better term, devolved me with some of their breakdowns this year, where I've gone full monk mode and caveman mode. So
Okay.
I have bought myself a little outfit for that reaction. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So this is going to be my getup for that. As you can see, this is full caveman attire.
Yeah,
So
it goes longer than your normal shorts. I see.
Yeah, so this is apparently a one size fits all. So this could go anywhere.
How
I don't
does
know how
that-
this is gonna work. I don't know how that works because I'm not a big dude. So, you know, if this also fits an extra large person, I don't know how this is gonna work. So it might look like a dress on me, but
So
yeah.
what's the plan?
The plan is to just wear this and react to the album. That's it. There's nothing intricate about it.
That's
Steve.
okay.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Why this? Because they make you go
Because
into
Orbiculture have had this thing where it's kind of been since the first song I reacted to them with, the Tales of War, where I kind of turned into a bit of an animal. Where I
Is it this full thing?
yes,
Okay.
it kind of just brought out, and then it kind of spilled into. Do you know what? It actually started in Infinite Baths with Sleep Token. It just came out of me a little bit, and then week after, Orbiculture dropped the Tales of War, which is one of the jauntiest songs, to steal your word, that I've
Love
heard this year. It's just stupidly ridiculous, and they've kind of been doing that with a lot of their singles. Now, their recent single Nerve was a bit mid. It was very Metallica coded in the vocals, very James Hetfield, but it's still Buster Rhoda producing and doing the mix and everything, so it sounds mental. But yeah, I just said fuck it, you know what, let's just bring the idea to life. Let's just become the monkey. So yeah, that'll be me wearing that in like a couple of days. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Great.
So
Burb, thank you for coming back. Drew's just shown me his role play attire that he's excited about introducing to his private life. So
yeah, Burb, I know you haven't really been on the Orbiculture train, but this shall be my attire for the for the album reaction when it drops. I'll be going full caveman for that. So I just
Do you know who to
decided
prove? Orion reacts. He'd be like, shit,
Yeah,
I should have cavemanned up.
Why did I not think of that? Dude, all
I
these
just can't
things
wait
are
to
doing
make
for
the
tax
thumbnail.
write-offs.
Yeah, incredible. It was like 10 quid. I was like, this will be funny. I think I just like cosplaying a bit. I should be one of those Twitch streamers that just dresses up and gets into all these wacky costumes.
Speaking of kind of cosplay, I went to a gig last night to see Unpeople. They were sensational. Fucking love Unpeople. Phenomenal gig. And I met there's a couple people who came up and said hello because they watched the channel. One of them was the drummer from Sleep Broken. The Sleep Token
No
cover.
way. That's
The
insane.
drummer came up and said hi. It's like, that's fucking amazing. He
Nice.
must be a very good drummer because to learn his parts, that's no fucking joke.
Yeah. So you met two. I was trying to think of a funny way of saying two, but not actually saying it. I was going to say like two multiplied by
Dos.
two or something. Yeah, dos. You met dos.
I met Dos.
I met those.
Yeah.
Spanish sleep token.
He was not Spanish. But yeah.
Okay, cool.
Very cool.
So you know the identity of dos.
Dos. I do. I won't tell.
Oh my god, yes. Do not tell. That's sick. They're supposed to be decent. They're supposed to be decent from what I've heard.
Yeah, they're gigging like loads.
Yeah, they're full of fucking selling shit out and all. It's insane. Fair play to them. There's obviously
Fair.
a whole different conversation about the cover bands and stuff, which
Yeah.
some people don't love them and shit, but whatever, fuck it, man. It's they're all fucking talented. Fair play to them.
But yeah. Other talented things. A couple of new bands I've listened to recently, which I thought are pretty fucking great. There's a band called Nova Glow. I heard a song of theirs called Bury Me. Very much enjoyed that. It's like really fucking good metalcore. And they're called, it's FIRSUN. It's either Fursun or Fire Sun, depending on, I don't know. But they were very, very good. A song called Speak.
Okay.
They're on the radar as a very strong new band there. The singer from Issues, ex-singer from Issues, is a new band called The Audacity. Really enjoyed it, but I've heard there might be some
Controversies? Yeah.
controversy there, so I don't know what to do with that, but the song was good, so I need to
How
find out more
controversial are we
about that.
talking here? Hold on. There's a scale of controversy.
Apparently they well,
Is there children
allegedly
involved? Because we have to draw the line
I
somewhere.
think, yeah, underage.
allegedly some kind of sexual
allegedly, yeah.
misconduct with a minor, but I don't know. Like I've heard this from a comment, so I don't know. I have to fucking now do some research
Right.
to find out if that's true or not. I don't know. It's a minefield out there, man.
Yeah.
I found out what sleep token is in Spanish. It's ficha de sueño. Sueño. And sorry,
Okay.
I got a dog barking.
Doesn't
over
have
here.
the same ring to it, does it?
No.
No. I've got some other bands that I've been checking out that are fantastic that are not that big. Have you guys heard Heritoire? They're a post-metal, kind of black metal band that are fucking sick. They are, hold on, let me get the exact genre or subgenre category because I know people, okay. They are German black gaze, okay? I know
Black
that sounds
gaze
crazy.
is
Black
crazy
gaze
to say.
is the funniest genre name
We've been through
ever
this.
created. Oh, we've been through this? Okay,
Yeah,
so I want to bring it up.
because you can't say that you hate the genre.
Yeah, which is so fun to say on Twitch. It's like, I'm not the biggest fan of black gaze, you know? It's just
I hate black gaze. Like, it's
We're going to get automatically banned by YouTube.
black. Oh, yeah, fuck, because YouTube won't understand the nuance. Of
They
what we're
won't
saying.
understand it's
Yeah, we're cooked.
Gaze.
Yeah. YouTube automated captions thing.
It can't.
You're
It's not
right
listening
now.
to you, dude.
It's
It's not
listening
going
to
to.
me.
Try, Drew. No, Steve, let him try.
YouTube black gaze. We're spelling Gaze. It's shoegaze and black metal combined. Anyways, back on track. Jesus, why did we walk into? Why did I walk into that land?
You did this.
Landmine. I seen the landmine. I said, step on that. Anyways, Heritoire
Is
are
this
fucking
active?
sick. They're so
Okay.
good. Incredible bands. There is some other fun bands.
Solence? Have you heard Solence? They're pretty decent.
No.
Like Solence.
Actually, let me give a recommendation because it's probably a bit annoying if I just say Heritoire are a sick band. Like, which song do you start with? I've heard 3 of their songs off their upcoming album. All of them are in my playlist, which is big for me because it's black gaze. And I traditionally don't like black gaze. Sorry, okay. Sorry.
That would be
I
a very
have to-
traditionalist view, I would say.
Sorry, you have to make the joke. Okay, come on. We're all friends here. You Are the Night, Season of Grief, and The Ashen Falls. All 6 songs. The most recent one is You Are the Night. Incredible. Season of Grief is 9 minutes and 54 seconds, I've just realized. But it is worth it if you're into that kind of thing. Check them out. They've got 70,000 monthly listeners, okay? They're not a small band at all. But yeah, incredible. Check them out.
I haven't heard them, no.
That's my recommendation. I'm surprised. I think you'll like them, Burb, for sure.
Yeah?
Their vocalist actually reached out to me, and I actually disagree with his assessment of how they sound, but it kind of makes sense as like a...
You're wrong.
No, because I know
Let me tell you something, right? So I am a YouTuber, right? So I know things, right? You
No,
think
Steve,
this.
Steve, okay? I appreciate your efforts there, you know, to make me look bad, right? But he basically said that he was trying to sell it to me because he obviously knows that a lot of the stuff I listen to is maybe like core leaning. So I'd already heard 2 of the songs off the new album, and then he emailed me and was like, "We've got a new song," and he was like, "Imagine like kind of black metal meets Architects," and I was like, "What?"
What's the band
No
name
way.
again?
Heritoire, Heroetoir. I feel like you might have heard some of the songs, Burb. I know Coop Sounds has been big on them, and I know he does be in your streams. But anyway, yeah, look, I'm not going to keep yapping about them, but I would recommend their most recent song. They've got an album coming up. I'll probably check that out because their songs have been sick. It's like that post feel, but it's not too far into kind of like the production and everything in the mix doesn't sound flat. Like I feel like a lot of black metal does a lot of the time. It sounds really, really good. Vocalists, amazing as well. Check it out.
Cool.
I only got
That-
BT Bam. Between the Beard and Me.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
They've got a new album coming up, right? Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yeah. And what was the last
Lorna
single?
Shores, another one
Absent
tomorrow.
Thereafter was fucking awesome. If
I
you
haven't heard
want like
anything from
crazy
anyone.
progressive metal music, yeah, Between the Beard and Me is going to be some heat, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Right. There's some choices.
Well, all
tomorrow.
right. There's been a lot of great chat here, folks, and some unhinged chat as well. It's been perfect. What a fun chat. Thanks, folks. Go check out those bands we mentioned there. See if you like them or not. And then, did you just crush a beer can on your forehead?
I thought we were
Crushed the beer
signing
can
out.
on the dog's
yeah.
head. Just
Yeah. Between his caveman outfit and you fucking...
yeah.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe. I should have said that earlier in the episode, I'm sure, but there'll be more things like this coming up in the future. We could do another episode in about a week. There'll be more games planned at some point as well. So thank you for being here. Catch you in the next episode.
Cheers,
Very
folks.
soon.
Bye.